What if the reason you're not rich has nothing to do with how much you earn, but everything to do with how you think about money? Imagine two people earning the exact same salary. One struggles, living paycheck to paycheck, constantly stressed. The other quietly builds wealth, gains freedom, and eventually stops worrying about money at all. What's the difference? It's not luck, it's not talent, it's a mindset, a system, a discipline. Napoleon Hill spent over 20 years studying the richest individuals of his time, and he discovered something shocking. Wealthy people don't just have more money, they manage it completely differently. They follow rules most people never learn. They think long-term while others think short-term. They make money work for them instead of working for money. In this video, you're going to discover the hidden habits, the silent disciplines, and the powerful strategies that separate the rich from everyone else. These are not theories, these are principles practiced by millionaires every single day. Stay with me until the end, because one of these lessons could completely transform the way you handle money and ultimately change your financial future forever. Lesson 1. The rich pay themselves first. The concept of paying yourself first is often misunderstood as a license for self-indulgence or immediate luxury, but in the world of true wealth creation, it is a clinical, non-negotiable accounting procedure. Most people operate on a residual financial model. They receive their paycheck, satisfy their creditors, pay their utilities, buy their groceries, and perhaps indulge in a few social outings, promising themselves they will save whatever is left. The mathematical reality is that for the vast majority, the remainder is zero. By the time the world has taken its pound of flesh, there is nothing left to fuel the individual's future. The rich, however, flip this script entirely. They treat their personal investment fund as their most demanding and important creditor. Before a single bill is paid or a single luxury is considered, a predetermined percentage of their income is diverted into vehicles that build wealth. This is not just a financial tactic, it is a psychological boundary that forces the individual to live on what remains, effectively engineering a life of discipline and efficiency. When you pay yourself first, you are essentially making a statement about your priorities and your value. You are acknowledging that your future self is more important than the immediate demands of your landlord, the electric company, or the local restaurant owner. This habit creates a forced scarcity that is remarkably effective at curbing lifestyle creep. When you see a smaller balance in your checking account because a significant portion has already been moved to a brokerage or savings account, you naturally become more discerning about your discretionary spending. You learn to optimize your lifestyle around the remaining capital. Over time, this discipline transforms from a struggle into a baseline expectation. It stops being something you try to do and becomes an integral part of your financial identity. The compounding effect of these early, consistent contributions is the primary engine of wealth, turning small disciplined sacrifices into massive, life-changing portfolios over the span of decades. Furthermore, paying yourself first serves as a vital hedge against the unpredictability of life. Financial independence is rarely the result of a single windfall, it is the result of thousands of small, invisible decisions. By automating this process, the wealthy remove the element of willpower from the equation. Relying on willpower to save money is a losing game because human discipline is a finite resource that fluctuates based on stress, mood, and environment. Automation ensures that wealth building happens in the background, rain or shine, regardless of how you feel on payday. This systematic approach ensures that the foundation of your financial house is built with stone rather than sand. It provides the peace of mind that comes from knowing your capital is growing, which in turn allows you to focus your mental energy on increasing your income or improving your craft rather than constantly stressing over a lack of savings. Lesson 2. They make money work for them. One of the most profound shifts in consciousness that occurs when moving from a middle-class mindset to a wealthy mindset is the transition from labor-based income to asset-based income. The average person is socialized to believe that the only way to earn more is to work more hours, more overtime, or more years. This is the linear income trap. Because time is a finite resource, linear income has a hard ceiling. No matter how high your hourly rate is, you eventually run out of hours. The wealthy understand that true freedom is only achieved when your money works harder than you do. They view every dollar not as a tool for consumption but as a financial soldier that can be sent out to capture more dollars. They prioritize the acquisition of assets, things that put money into your pocket, over the acquisition of liabilities, which are things that take money out of your pocket. This distinction is the cornerstone of the capitalist architecture. Building systems that generate income requires an upfront investment of either time or capital, often with no immediate reward. This is where most people falter. It is much easier to work an extra shift and get paid on Friday than it is to spend months building a business or researching stocks that might not pay off for years. However, the rich are willing to endure the lags of investment because they understand the power of leverage. Whether it is through the dividends of a stock portfolio, the rental income from real estate, or the profits from a business that functions without their daily involvement, they are decoupling their income from their physical presence. This allows them to scale their wealth exponentially. While a laborer's income grows at a steady incremental pace, an investor's income can explode as their assets begin to compound and produce their own offspring in the form of reinvested returns. This philosophy changes how one views every financial transaction. Instead of seeing a $50,000 car as a status symbol, a wealthy-minded individual sees it as the loss of $50,000 that could have been earning 8% annually. They calculate the opportunity cost of their spending. By making money work for them, they eventually reach a crossover point where the income generated by their assets exceeds their living expenses. This is the definition of true wealth: the ability to live your life entirely on your own terms without ever having to trade another hour of your life for a paycheck. It shifts the focus from survival to contribution, from stress to strategy. Once your money is working for you, you are no longer a slave to the clock. You are the architect of your own time, utilizing your resources to create a legacy rather than just paying for a lifestyle. Lesson 3. They control emotions around money. The financial markets are often described as a sea of numbers and charts, but in reality, they are a theater of human emotion. The two most destructive forces in wealth management are fear and greed. Most people are driven by these twin engines. They buy when they are greedy, usually at the peak of a market bubble, and they sell when they are afraid, usually at the bottom of a crash. The rich, however, cultivate a stoic detachment from their capital. They understand that volatility is the price of admission for high returns. Instead of reacting to the daily noise of the news cycle or the panic of the masses, they stick to a disciplined strategy. They view market downturns not as disasters, but as clearance sales where high-quality assets can be acquired at a discount. This emotional resilience is what allows them to stay the course when everyone else is jumping overboard. Controlling emotions also extends to the realm of social pressure and conspicuous consumption. A significant portion of the population is trapped in a cycle of keeping up with the Joneses, using their hard-earned money to buy things they don't need to impress people they don't even like. This is an emotional reaction rooted in a need for validation and status. The wealthy recognize that true status is not found in a designer logo or a luxury lease, but in the strength of one's balance sheet. They have the emotional maturity to appear poor or average while they are actually building a fortune. By mastering their ego, they avoid the lifestyle inflation that swallows the raises and bonuses of their peers. They understand that money is a tool for freedom, not a prop for a performance, and they refuse to let their self-worth be dictated by their outward display of wealth. Furthermore, the ability to remain logical during high-stakes situations is what separates successful entrepreneurs and investors from those who burn out. Money triggers the primitive parts of our brain associated with survival, making it very difficult to remain objective. When a business venture fails or an investment sours, the average person takes it personally, allowing the sting of defeat to prevent them from taking future risks. The rich view failure as data. They analyze the loss, extract the lesson, and move forward without the emotional baggage of shame. This logic-based approach allows them to make calculated risks rather than emotional gambles. By removing the drama from their finances, they create a stable environment where wealth can grow predictably. They treat money like a game of chess. Every move is calculated, every loss is a lesson, and the ultimate goal is always kept in sight, regardless of the temporary chaos on the board. Lesson 4. They track and direct every dollar. There is a common myth that once you become wealthy, you no longer need to worry about the details of your spending. In truth, the opposite is usually true. people become wealthy precisely because they are obsessive about the details. Money is inherently slippery. If it is not given a specific mission, it tends to evaporate through small unnoticed leaks. The wealthy treat their personal finances with the same rigor that a CEO treats a Fortune 500 company. They track their cash flow with precision, knowing exactly what is coming in, and more importantly, exactly where it is going. This isn't about being cheap or frugal in a restrictive sense. It is about being intentional. When you track every dollar, you are essentially auditing your life's energy. You are ensuring that your resources are being allocated toward your highest values and your most ambitious goals. Money without direction is like a ship without a rudder. It will eventually drift into the rocks of insignificance. By assigning every dollar a purpose, whether that purpose is growth, security, education, or lifestyle, the wealthy ensure that they are always moving toward a specific destination. This is the difference between spending and allocating. Spending is a reactive process where money leaves your hands in exchange for a temporary good. Allocating is a proactive process where money is deployed into a category that serves a long-term plan. This level of granularity allows the wealthy to spot trends in their own behavior. They can see if their dining out category is starting to cannibalize their investment category and make corrections before the damage becomes structural. This feedback loop is essential for maintaining a high savings rate, which is the single most important variable in the wealth-building equation. Moreover, the act of tracking money creates a psychological ownership of one's financial destiny. Most people feel like money is something that happens to them. They are victims of bills, inflation, and unexpected costs. By directing every dollar, the rich shift into a position of agency. They realize that while they cannot control the global economy, they have absolute control over their own economy. This creates a sense of empowerment and reduces financial anxiety. When you know exactly how much you need to live, how much you are investing, and how much you have for emergencies, the unknown loses its power to scare you. This clarity is a competitive advantage. It allows the wealthy to make fast, confident decisions when opportunities arise because they know exactly what capital they have available and exactly what that capital needs to do. They don't guess, they know. Lesson 5. They think long-term, not short-term. The greatest barrier to wealth is the human desire for instant gratification. We are biologically wired to prefer a small reward today over a massive reward 10 years from now. The wealthy, however, have trained themselves to operate on a different time horizon. They understand that the most powerful force in the universe is compound interest, and compound interest requires one specific ingredient above all else: time. While the average person is looking for the next big thing or a get-rich-quick scheme that will solve their problems by next month, the rich are busy planting seeds for a forest they might not sit under for a decade. They are willing to endure a lower standard of living today to ensure an astronomical standard of living tomorrow. This time preference shift is the fundamental divider between those who have money and those who merely spend it. Thinking long-term changes the nature of every decision. It turns a purchase into an investment and a setback into a minor fluctuation. When you have a 20-year vision, a bad month in the stock market or a slow quarter in a business is irrelevant. This perspective allows the wealthy to ignore the get-rich-quick traps that drain the capital of the impatient. They understand that wealth is a marathon, not a sprint. This patience allows them to wait for the right opportunities rather than forcing bad ones out of desperation. They are comfortable with the boring middle years of wealth accumulation, the years where you are doing everything right but the numbers haven't started to explode yet. They know that the hockey stick curve of growth is coming, as long as they don't interrupt the compounding process unnecessarily. This long-term focus also applies to legacy and generational wealth. The rich don't just think about their own retirement, they think about the world they are leaving for their children and grandchildren. They make decisions today that will impact their family tree for 100 years. This might mean setting up trusts, investing in the education of their heirs, or building businesses that are designed to outlast their founders. This multi-generational thinking removes the pressure to consume everything they earn. It provides a sense of purpose that transcends individual pleasure. By focusing on the long term, they escape the treadmill of the now and enter the realm of the forever. They understand that the true value of money isn't just what it can buy you this weekend, but the freedom and security it can provide for generations to come. This vision is the ultimate motivator. providing the discipline needed to stay the course when the rest of the world is chasing shadows. At the end of the day, wealth is not an accident, it's a result of consistent habits and disciplined thinking. The difference between those who struggle financially and those who thrive often comes down to a few simple, powerful principles: paying yourself first, investing instead of just spending, staying emotionally in control, tracking your money, thinking long-term. These aren't complicated ideas, but they require commitment, and that's where most people fall short. They know what to do, but they don't do it consistently. The rich, on the other hand, turn these principles into daily habits. They repeat them until they become automatic. The truth is, you don't need to earn millions to start thinking like the rich. You can begin right where you are, with what you have. Every small decision you make today shapes your financial future tomorrow. So ask yourself, will you continue managing money the way you always have, or will you start thinking differently from today? Because the moment you change how you manage money is the moment your life begins to change. And remember, wealth doesn't start in your bank account, it starts in your mind.